This week's episode is brought to you by Elvest. Just about every investment and retirement plan is created by men for men, which is fine unless you're a woman.
Girl, women still earn less than men for now. We're more aware of risk, and we're more likely than men to pause our careers to raise a family. And unfortunately, we typically retire with less wealth than men, even though statistics show that we live longer.
That's why there's Elvest, created for women, run by and designed by women. Elvest helps women invest based on their specific goals, like buying a home, starting a business, raising a family, or just retiring like a boss.
So girlfriends listeners can visit elvest.com/girlfriends and pay no advisory fees for the first 3 months.
Invest like a woman with Elvest. That's ELLEVEST.
And that's elvest.com/girlfriends. Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. I am your host, Brandis Daniel.
I'm your co-host, Sybil Amuti.
And we have with us two very special guests. Woo!
Yes.
Don't give y'all
Yes.
So we have the co-host of a new podcast coming up called Man Over Matter. And today we're going to get a sneak peek. So I'm going to introduce our guest who's never been on the show first, Mr. Lawrence St. Victor.
What's
Hey,
up?
Lawrence, welcome.
Yay! We're so excited to have you, Lawrence.
Good to be here.
And then we also have with us, I feel like I'm in like a boxing match right now. On this side, we have with us returning champion of the Great Girlfriends podcast, Mr. Kwaku Amuti.
Hey, ladies.
Hey.
How you doing?
Welcome.
We're so excited to have you guys.
Thank you. We're grateful to be here.
Yeah.
We're
Look at
cheesing
that.
so big. This is so exciting. So you guys know last week we did an episode called When a Man Loves a Woman, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so this episode was built off of our idea that women, our girlfriends, need a better understanding around the signs that exist when a man loves them.
Yes.
And so we told them that we would have an epic response episode. So there's a lot of pressure right now.
It's got to be epic.
Pressure, no pressure. Pressure, no pressure. Because they're waiting to hear from a man's perspective what's true and what's not true on our list of the signs, the ways that you'll know that a guy loves you for sure.
We're ready to go.
You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
So girlfriends, we chose these two because one, Kwaku is fine wine, y'all. So, you know, he's my personal favorite, my champion. So I count on him to give me all advice and guidance where things around the heart, men are concerned. And you were the subject for me in last episode.
I heard it. I
You listened?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did I represent you well?
You represented me well. You always do.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I tried because I knew you
You
listened.
did. You did pretty well. Yeah.
I knew he was gonna listen. And then Lawrence is like a brother, and also, so you know, family to family, but also Lawrence is happily married happily married in Hollywood, which is, you know, almost unheard of, right, Lawrence?
Very unique.
It's a very unique scenario. He has a beautiful wife of now 8 years.
9.
9
Wow.
years. Y'all racking them years up, Lawrence. I love it. I love it. He has a beautiful wife, Shay, who is like a fantastic sister as well. But also, so Lawrence understands a lot about what men go through and what men can also share from their experience around when they want to communicate love for a woman. I think you're in a unique position, Lawrence, because as an actor, a television actor on CBS, you girlfriends, have all seen him on The Bold and the Beautiful as Carter. And Remy on, was it Guiding Light?
Yeah.
Remy.
Good memory. Yeah.
I remember because we were in New Orleans walking down the street, and these super fans are like, Remy! Remy! and like it's like time stopped. Lawrence stopped in position, like, yes. And
Hey.
we were like, oh my God, he's a real star. This is crazy. So I feel like Lawrence, you're in a position where you could compromise a lot of things on a daily basis, just keeping it really real with you. You know, a lot of things are thrown your way. A lot of times women will try to question or try to check and see how serious you are about your relationship. And being in Hollywood, it can't be easy. But I think you have with certainty shown, Shay, over the course of your relationship, how serious you are about your marriage, and also to show other women how serious you are about your marriage. So I think there's signs, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why we're here. We want to lay all of this on the table.
Let's do it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Brandis.
Are they ready? That's the question.
I'm ready.
Well, yeah.
We don't want y'all fluff political answers either.
No, that's not what it's going to be. Because
I don't even have political correct answers. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, if anything, we're praying that we don't get shut down when our podcast comes out because we 100%.
Stop trying to ruin our careers right now. We're trying to.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So last week we talked about the 8 ways, 8 signs that men show when they love a woman. And number 1 that we talked about was that he is seeking you out. Like he's calling a woman. He's trying to see her and he's trying to get in her personal zone, not sending text messages, talking about what's up.
Agree? Disagree?
I mean, when I was going after Shay, it was before text messages. So I got to think back. But I do think, it's a showing of interest. But there's a side thing to that, too, because you don't want to come off like a stalker, too. That's the thing. You want to show interest, but you don't want to show so much interest you think that you're a creep. So it's a balance for dudes.
But we're at a point of love. So we're not talking about like I just met you. We're talking about like I'm serious about you.
Oh, I think the interest grows from day one. If I'm interested, I want to call you. I want to text you, and that only grows. So for me, it's about keeping it cool and not coming off too strong too soon. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with my partner, man. The text message thing is something that's new because when we dated, I didn't even have a cell phone, so it was just I'm dating myself there, but
cell phones were out.
Cell phones were out. I just didn't have
one.
But I think we do agree. Like if you just met this guy, or even if you're in this love relationship or whatever, and you went 2 weeks without hearing from that joker, like that's a sign.
Yeah.
Like the women that we want to go after, we don't want to spend 2 weeks away from without a card or a text, even a text, something. But all too often, I think that, something that happens in this day and age is that a lot of women are putting up with, I haven't heard from this guy in a week. I haven't heard from this guy in a few days. And if he's really, really interested in you and you're not one of many, then you will occupy that primary space and he will you'll be top of mind. You'll get the text like, hey, I'm just going to lunch. I was thinking about you. Hey, I'm just doing this. Or, hey, I got to run. Like, even if he's got to do something else, he'll let you know what he has to do. He'll include you in his schedule so that you can figure out why you haven't heard from him. But
he'll be interested from day one. His battle will be holding back, not trying to include you. He'll be like, that might be too much. When a guy's interested, he's interested.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Brandis, we're spot on with that one.
We're spot on. We're spot on. Let's go to number 2.
Number 2, you feel, let me say it properly. When a man loves a woman, you feel protected emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Do you agree or disagree, fellas?
I'm at a 50% on that one.
What?
I'm at a 50%.
Yeah, that's
it's contingent. Yeah. It's contingent. Yeah. And the contingency is this. In order for you to feel protected emotionally, spiritually, physically, I would say in parentheses to that statement you put, as long as you give him access to those parts of you.
Now, see, wait a minute. You see how they're trying to flip this episode?
They flipping it.
That's real. That's real.
They're trying to flip that episode.
That's real. No, because in order for me to protect you emotionally, I have to know what emotions you're going through.
Okay,
I can't necessarily guess them. You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
about guessing. When a man loves you, you feel his protection emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Do you or do you not? Does he cover you?
50-50, right?
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, okay, let's break this down. Should you feel protected physically? Absolutely, right? Physically, you should feel protected. You shouldn't feel
like, are those
scared
fur,
or
you're gonna
uncomfortable.
hit me? Right,
Right, that's a given.
right.
Now, emotionally and spiritually, I think that's both parties growing together. Because as a dude, I'm imperfect. And me and Shay got married when I was in my early 20s. So I did the best I could at 24, and she did the best she could at 23. But if you're talking like complete protection, emotionally, spiritual, physical, period, stop, I feel like that could be, I don't know if that's completely realistic.
Okay. So I'll say it like this, but I'll say it like this. You will know that he is attempting to cover you in those areas.
Yes.
Like when a man loves a woman, you'll know that no matter where he is in life, he's still trying. Like
he's moving towards.
You know what it is? Yeah. You'll feel his effort.
Right.
You will feel 100% of his effort.
So, Kwaku, what did you mean by women giving men access? You think women hold back some of themselves?
Yes. Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, it goes the same way as what we talked about before. When a man is really into you, his battle or his challenge is, I don't want to. I got to hold parts of me back. I think that same thing happens on the other end, and it's not a bad thing. But I do think, and I'm not saying, once this man gets with you, you open up the floodgates, you give him everything, but you feed him a little bit. Like you just start opening the door a little bit more, a little bit more. Because what I find and what we find from the men that we talk to on our end is they're interested and ready to love a woman. They're in relationship with said woman, but they can't figure out emotionally where she is. And they're having the hard time trying to connect with her that way. So it just comes from that side. We're hearing guys say, man, I'm with this girl. Man, I think she's amazing. I'm trying. I can't get any traction with her. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know if she's interested. I don't know all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm
in a relationship, it's a two-way street. So if you're wanting to cover these areas and she's resisting, well, you have areas that you want her to cover too. So automatically from Jump Street, you're just missing each other. And that makes both parties want to protect themselves and be safe. Therefore, both parties cut themselves off emotionally and spiritually.
Right. And it's a great relationship that could have probably taken off and gone to the moon. But that lack of communication on both sides leads to downfall. We're not blaming women. We're not blaming men. We're just saying, that communication does need to happen, though. It's like wanting him to, I know that's a thing that women want. You want him to cover you emotionally. But in order to do that, you've got to let him into some of your emotions.
Okay, so for us, what that means is, for example, if you cover me emotionally, it means that I have a safe space to share with you, like, things that I've gone through, dreams, highs, lows, circumstances, just I feel safe enough to share with you and know that you're not going to condemn me, or know that you even care if I share, or know that you're available to me in that way. Then if you're covering me spiritually, I know that you have your own relationship with God. So if I ever come to you with a need, you're going to do your best to cover me with the right type of counsel, the right type of wisdom, right? And I also feel like you're taking your own interest in making sure that the family, or not the family, excuse me, but that the two of us have like a spiritual gauge, because you're the one that already has lead on that. You're looking to take lead on that. Then physically, likewise, it's like I know with confidence that I'm safe with you. Like I feel protected. I can rest. I can ease in. And then also physically, you're not sharing yourself with a bunch of people. So I know when you love me, because you're isolating you're you know what I'm saying? You have isolated yourself for me. Like I have exclusivity to these areas with you.
Or like you won't run out of a party before I do if something go down.
Right.
Yeah, no. I would say this to any lady.
Right.
If you're walking down the street and you don't feel, if you holding that man's arm and you're not secure that if and I'm gonna date myself. If somebody comes up on you and wants to do you physical harm, that he's not gonna be there to say no, this isn't gonna happen. That's not a great relationship to invest in. You guys
right.
need to
That's funny.
reconfigure how you're doing.
That's what I would call a limp noodle.
Wow. Oh man.
I love it. So, because I hear what you guys are saying. What you guys are saying is essentially, and that's where we miss it, girlfriend. So this is a critical and fair point to make, which is that it's a two-way street, which is that men want to show their love, but if we are withholding so much, we don't give them an opportunity to show up in a way that we want them there. And then we get mad when we're like, I can't tell, I don't know, or the signs aren't there. Right? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, and it's vulnerability to pursue someone you love. Men, that's our vulnerable place. And if you get shut down or there's resistance over a period of time, we're not going to keep putting ourselves out there to get rejected either. You know, that we're not going to do that.
Well, and there's a big distinction. Okay, there's a big distinction. This is something we do on our podcast. There's a distinction between a guy and a man. Mm-hmm. Huge difference. So a lot of these things that you're hearing won't apply to the guys you may be dating. And that's not to say that they won't be men in their future, but they may not be at that space yet. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So I think one of the key things to know is, you know, what you're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Are you dealing with a man, or are you dealing with a guy who's, you know, he's kind of in man training?
Right. I agree.
It makes a huge difference, because a guy won't do, I'm sure a guy won't do, he'll probably miss 5 out of 8 of these ones on the list.
Right. So that will be a separate episode on when a guy loves a woman.
If a guy
a guy loves a woman. That's hard for a guy to love a woman, because he's self-centered in the moment. He's in his guy phase. He's in the I just got handsome. I just got money in my pocket. I just got a car. I'm winning right now.
Funny.
So he's in guy mode.
You have a lot of guys who are in full-time corporate, you know, 6-figure jobs or careers who just don't have, you know, men characteristics.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know,
don't listen.
We're still living out high school dreams.
Ladies, do not base manhood on what he makes or how old he is. That is a big mistake.
Say that again. Don't base it on, what was the second thing?
On what he makes or how old he is. Sure, he could be 45 in a 6-figure salary and still be a guy.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Oh, no.
So now our great girlfriend's going to be like, so you want us to go find, you know.
They're like, what are we supposed to do?
Broke 50-year-old.
I tell you, look. I will give you a secret. I know we're going off tangent, but I'll give you a secret. There are a lot of eligible men in your friend zone.
That is so true. Mm-hmm. That is so true. That is so true.
They are waiting in the wings in the friend zone.
That is so true. That's good, Kwaku. That's good. That's good. I'm excited about that one. Our great girlfriends, I already see you guys rolling your eyes, but hey, that was Kwaku. But yeah, that is true.
Uh-huh. Number 3, Brandis.
All right, so number 3 is you don't have to worry about his whereabouts and activity, and you don't need to stalk him socially. Because you guys know that's the new thing. Let me go check out his friend's Instagram. Let me go check out his friends. What's the other one? Not Instagram. Snapchat.
Snapchat, yes. Let me find out where he is, because I haven't heard from him.
Check out his Facebook.
Yeah, man. If a man loves you, there's no need to not trust him. I mean, if he loves you, and you should check that distrust, because where's it coming from? Is it coming from previous relationships? Is it coming from relationship with your parents? Because if he didn't do anything to warrant that type of distrust, you got to check this up and see where's that coming from.
But I would back up and say, yes, I do agree. I mean, you're going to know where he is. You're going to know what he's doing. It's almost like, and maybe I'm jumping ahead here, but like he's going to be so secure in who he is and how he loves you and what he's willing to do that, he'd give you the keys to the kingdom. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He has nothing to hide.
True. Nice.
Good deal. All right. So it looked like we were on point right there, Sybil.
We got 2 for us, one for them.
Right. Okay. We're gonna move on to number 4. Okay, so he makes you. This is a good one, guys. He makes you a part of his world. You get to know who his friends are, who his family is. You met Mama. He gives you full access to his world.
Okay, wait, Mama. You meant Mama though.
When a man loves you.
Okay, we're talking love. Okay, we're talking love. We're not talking dating. We're not talking dating. Love.
John, he got sensitive about Mama.
About Mama.
Love. Yeah, love. Yes, love. Yes, you meet all those people. Love, because that means you've gotten to the point where there's like okay, Lawrence, back me up on this. When we lock in, we lock in. Mm-hmm. We're like, this is it. Think about it. It's like if you go back to caveman, right? You see that thing you want to hunt, and you're like, I could get killed hunting this one thing. Like, that's how you feel about that particular woman. You're like, if I die in pursuit of her, that is a noble death. Like, that's how you feel. So, yeah, of course, like, his whole world becomes, open to you.
Yeah, it becomes your world.
Yeah.
So let me play devil's advocate here. What if the guy doesn't know if the woman loves him back or not?
Oh, she ain't getting nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Cut off.
We're going off this list based off of that. This love is like mutual, right? But if she's playing games or you're not sure if she's in it like that, then we're just like women, there's going to be safeguards of protection to make sure you don't have access. Because you don't need to meet my mama if I don't know you love me.
Right.
No. Right. Maybe once. Yeah. But
on accident.
On accident at a Starbucks.
Well, because that's important to us. Because that's bringing you around the woman who has loved me my entire life. So it's like, if you're over there playing this hard to get thing, and and I believe to a certain degree hard to get is a cool thing to do. But if you're playing super hard to get
in the beginning,
yeah, exactly, and I can't reach you, and I'm at the love point, and I love you, and you're not giving me any sort of feedback on whether or not you love me back, no.
But because man, we search like I look at my wife as my helper. The woman I love, you're my helper, and if I don't know you love me, I don't want you to have influence in these parts of my life. Like if you meet my people at work or my agents or managers, that gives you the opportunity to weigh in on my life. And I don't want you to weigh in if you don't love me. No.
Yeah, and let's rewind. Let's rewind
to see Lawrence's face.
I know, right?
But here's the thing. Let's rewind to point number 2.
I am offended.
Look, as a man, let's rewind to point number 2. If my job in loving you is to protect you emotionally, spiritually, and especially physically, I am not jumping in the bullet in front of a bullet for you if I don't know if you love me.
This is
like you're asking me to die for you.
But now let me ask this question, because I know of a lot of maybe guy men. I'm not sure man, guy, whatever what they are, but a lot of people filter women through their mama. That's like a process they do. They're like, you meet my mama, and if my mama don't like you, then I already know you don't get to make it to round 2, 3, 4, etc. For some people, it's a little bit of a different process of an early elimination.
I would say that's an absolute mistake. That's like a death sentence.
Yeah.
I love my mama.
Do people do that? Guys do that?
I know of a lot of guys that do that.
Our rounds are a lot. We don't have as many rounds, but they're longer. So to get to round 2, that round 1 is a long round.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're right.
When I'm in front of my mama, like I don't got 6 other girls I'm bringing in front of my mother.
No.
Okay.
So if you got past round 1, that's a big step for me.
Okay. All right. Number 5. When a man loves you, he makes grand gestures to show you his intentions. He tries to impress you. True or false, Superman? I want to hear from you first with the S on your chest, Lawrence.
It's true. Of course it's true. But like I have a thing about like me and chivalry, I don't understand it all the way. Because I know that chivalry, that's what you do to get girls. You show your best color. You know, you do what you got to do. You say the right things. You open the door for her, but your intention is to get her. And once you got her, I wonder if a lot of dudes keep that up. So the grand gestures, yes, but I think it's the small gestures. It's the little things you do. It's, my wife is sick, so I run to the store without thinking. I get her chicken noodle soup. Is that a grand gesture? No, but would she rather grand gestures?
In today's world, that's a
for real? Dang.
You win it with a cup of soup.
The bar is on the floor.
Dang.
The bar is on the floor these days.
Okay. Then I guess, I'm with grand gestures.
That's a grand gesture.
That's where we're at. I'm thinking like, white doves.
No, we don't mean that kind of girl. I'm talking about just something that's super romantic. That may not come natural to you, but you're like, you really put some thought into this.
Yes. I think yes. You put some thought into it. But at the same time, I feel like dudes who just want the draws do the same exact thing too. So what's the difference?
Oh, you say, okay, so what's the difference? Well, the difference is they've done a number of things on top of the grand gesture. So it's not just the gesture. The gesture is amidst all these other things or signs that he's displayed.
Look,
right? So it's like the gesture's not just him pulling up in front of my job in a Corvette. It's like on top of that, he's been present. I've met family. We've connected. I feel, you know what I mean?
I would wager to say that in this day and age, the dating age, and remember we did that episode before, the standard has been lowered drastically.
Right.
Like, you don't have to take a girl out to dinner anymore just to meet
her.
That's
so true.
That's
really?
Crazy.
I've been out the game for like almost 10,
that's
12
what I'm saying.
years.
You've been out the game. Well, and even still, I mean, I salute you. I saw on Instagram, you took your wife to the to go see, was it Space Shuttles and did the
horseback,
horseback riding, and so that's a gangster move. But that in this day and age, that is like Fabio type of romance.
Really?
A lot of I promise you. I promise you.
I got to give myself more credit, man.
Yes,
I'm with it. Grand gestures, absolutely.
Oh, God.
They may, and I'm not trying to put you on Front Street, but that's you. Like, but guys don't do that. Guys just need to DM a girl on Instagram to get interest.
So do you agree with the grand gestures?
Oh, I do. Yeah. When a man loves you, he's going to make himself a fool in order to attract you, like to keep you interested, to do crazy stuff. Like he'll go completely out of his comfort zone. Again, when the relationship is mutual, when he knows like she got me. She absolutely got me. He will be a fool.
Yeah, and it will be specific gestures. Not the gesture he pulled out of his notebook that he worked on all these girls because, all girls love flowers. But he knows that you love tulips or whatever. So it will be tulips. It won't just be something generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, be specific.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Does Shay like your Michael Jackson split?
Say that again?
Does Shay like your Michael Jackson split? Because you pulled that out of the wedding and cracked me up. That was a grand gesture.
That wasn't for her. That was for me. That was for me.
Oh, Lord.
Because, the groom challenged me to a battle, and there's no way that was
full Michael Jackson routine, Brandis, with a split in a suit. Lawrence, are you 6'3"?
Yeah.
Hit the floor in a split. And it was like a masculine split. It was like straight man split. It was, it was so funny. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Number 6. Uh-oh. Hold on one second. I'm hearing an echo. Go away. Testing? It's gone. Okay, so let's jump into number 6, which goes back to this whole access thing. You have his passwords. Do you agree? When a man loves you, here's my password, girl. Here's my PIN on my bank card. Or here's my password to my email. Here's my password to my alarm system in my apartment.
Yes. The one, I believe it. The one specific point that I will make about that, though, is it won't be presented to you. He won't say, here, girl, here on this one piece of paper is all the passwords to my stuff. If he is doing that brother got a whole nother set of accounts that he done set up, and he's trying to get you off the trail.
That's funny.
But it's something like an easy, simple test. Like, babe, can I use your phone real quick? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And he was like, it's locked. Oh, the password is boom, 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 boom. Like, that's how you know.
Yes.
That's how you know. If it's a nonchalant,
you know she's gonna write to your messages. You
know
it.
Okay. Oh, well, let me ask you the question. All right. Okay, wait.
Here goes the trust.
You know she's gonna slide over.
That begs the question. Are you, as that woman with the password, are you looking around in that phone? 100%. Be honest.
See, now y'all are wrong for that.
Some things out. Like, that's what we do.
That y'all are wrong
Is
for
that
that.
a question?
Yes, that's a question. Are you
Y'all
looking
are
through his phone when you have the password?
Well, I mean, no. But I mean, early, absolutely. I definitely would have slid over the messages real quick to see. Just curious, like, oh, okay.
Social stalking.
Thank you.
That is not social
That's
stalking.
studying.
No,
Searching
That is studying.
Stalkers are studying too.
No, stalkers don't
intense,
have rights.
It's just intense study.
You don't have the right. All right.
That's studying.
Okay, wait, but I would say that that's wrong. If I've given
It is
you
wrong.
access, I'm assuming that the access means you don't need to poke around.
It's not poking around.
No,
It's
it is.
just, no, what all do I have access to? Let me check messages. Let me see.
But the motivation and intention of why you're checking those messages?
It's pure curiosity.
No, you're curious to see if there's something there that shouldn't be.
No, it's just getting to know you better.
You can ask
Yeah,
me.
that's what conversation's for. Or you would say, hey, can I look at your messages? Would you say, hey, can I look at your messages?
I'd probably say, hey, you have a new message. And then
or would you say, hey, can I read your messages?
No, because when you gave me the code, you gave me access to it.
No, I gave you the code to do something.
I gave you access. You want to use my phone, you want to make a phone call.
Oops.
Oops. Like, my bad.
My bad.
Like Sky goes, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay, so
But,
in your messages. I know now.
Well, no. Would you? That's like a violation of trust. Like I've just given you the code.
But I don't check your messages now. Currently in marriage, I don't because I don't have a reason to. But early in dating, I probably would have scrolled through like, okay, because he had friends that he didn't know were not friends. You see what I'm saying?
But see, access is like we invite you into these areas. You got to be. You can't.
Okay, but Lawrence. Every guy knows. I mean, think about this. Does every man not know this? If you got your own apartment and you leave her in your apartment,
she's gonna clean up.
She's gonna go through every single thing in that apartment.
Tidy up for you.
But that's not right.
But we know it.
I just gotta know that's not right.
But it is what it is.
She's going to clean up for you,
She's
and you're gonna come back, and your house is gonna be fully clean and organized.
She's going to look through everything you got.
No, she's cleaning. She's just organized.
I love how semantically you guys have found a way to rationalize this.
We have to talk about this on our show, Kwaku.
It's true.
Man.
Gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man.
So that's just it. You know when you give her your password and your password or like a key to your apartment. I mean, hopefully you've been wise enough to discard of anything that you don't want her to have access to.
Right. But you know that when you're snooping, it's because you're not sure. You're not secure. People don't snoop.
Is it all access or not?
Well, let me just say
is it all
this.
access or not? Is it all access?
No, it's all
not?
access.
Okay, so what we talking about here? Messages included.
We're talking about your intention of why you're looking.
It's to
not that you can't look, but why are you looking?
It's more. You know what it is? It's more of a security mechanism to ensure that everything that your well-being is protected.
No. My well-being.
Yeah.
No.
and you know how you guys have man code.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's just kind of woman code.
Look, you see that? What is that?
What is man code?
No, you can't sit here and just say, well, that's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
No.
You can ask Shay how many times she just kind of slipped into some, just a mail or just something in a drawer. I mean, you just kind of just clean up and you just, you clean up. I'm
not with it. I understand why. I get why.
Like Brandon says, the equivalent to man code.
What's the man code?
Okay, but a great thing. On our podcast, we attack man code.
We go hard.
We go hard on man.
Do you kill it? Or
the hope is to kill it. We don't understand why it happens. There are certain things that we don't understand. Even as men.
Passed down.
Yeah, we've gotten it passed down from our forefathers who were trifling, and we got that. And
we destroy man code.
Okay. So girlfriends. Okay, so let me do this. Let me do a public service announcement.
Public service announcement.
Girlfriends, I do not condone digging through a man's phone.
Nor do the Great Girlfriends Incorporated.
We do, however, understand. Okay, just leave it there. Just leave it there. Okay,
just leave it there.
We do not condone you going.
I want to say one more thing on this topic about access, right? Because I'm with Kwaku all the way, but I do think that there's levels to access. Because, like, if you're not my wife, I'm not giving you my bank account. Really?
You're not giving a bank code.
If you're not my wife, it depends where we are in our relationship. Depends if it's just I love you. I may not give you my social security number yet. It just depends on where we are in our relationship.
Okay, but like the bank card, you guys are, she's gonna meet you. She wants to cook for you or something, and you're like, here, take my card. Here's the PIN.
I think that's unique to relationships because you shouldn't be giving everybody your bank card.
Right. You need a fresh
and it depends on how long you've been together and how long y'all been in love. And
because we're not giving out pins either. Truth be told, I'm not passing out my.
Wait, hold on.
But we're talking about when a man loves a woman. Like,
okay. I got you. Fair enough.
We're talking about men today.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Brandis. Number 7.
Oh, God. I was sitting here like, nope, we definitely not.
We're not passing out. So maybe we take that one back. All right, that's one for y'all. Okay.
So we put in here that you feel like a lady. So when a man loves a woman, you feel like a lady. You feel girly and flirty and,
Okay, define lady for me.
I just defined it.
Okay, you feel like
girly and flirty and, you feel like that light, fluttery feeling.
Okay.
Like, who is shaking his head?
Look, this one's rubbing his chin, the other's shaking his head. And I mean, basically what we're saying is that, like, you feel at ease. And so this man, when a man loves you, he brings out this, like, light, fluttery femme side of you that may not be present at work or different places.
If you guys could see this face right now, both of their faces, oh my God.
They totally disagree with this.
No.
No, it's not a total disagreement.
Okay, what is all this?
I think we got to kind of change how it's said. When a man loves you, he will create for you the environment where you can feel that way. Yeah. Now, feeling that way is something you got to grab onto, though. Like, right. But he'll do the things. Oh, that's a difficult one, though. Because this is almost like chivalry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like...
It is.
As long as I'm the perfect Prince Charming at all times, you'll be happy. And it's like, well, I'll try to be perfect and slay every dragon and bring you every glass slipper every time I see you in life.
So much sarcasm in that. So much.
All of that.
Well, yeah, because we talk about this. We talk about this on our podcast, and it's hilarious because we're like, in the fairy tale stories are so bogus because the prince. Okay, think about the prince. The prince has a job. He's helping his father run his kingdom. He's got he's got the dope ride. He's got a white horse. And then he's got to go, get on the horse, ride out the castle, fight through stuff. Kill dragons, do all this, and then his prize is her. And then we cut to happily ever after. And it's like we skip so much of the process.
We skip why she's valuable outside the fact that she's single and pretty. Like, why is she valuable? Like, we know why he's valuable. And I think that's the fairy tale that young girls get, is that I expect to be treated like a lady, which that's no problem with that. He'll come and he'll kill and he'll be valiant. And it's like, well, it's a two-way street too. And it's like, you can't just sit there and wait for this guy to give you butterflies while you just sit there and wait in the castle. It's like, no, romance is a two-way street. That feeling goes both ways. And I feel like sometimes the narrative is, you guys kind of sit there and wait to be swept off your feet. I'm like, this is a convenient narrative,
And that's
just like convenient narrative.
It's a convenient thing. Like Cinderella ain't had to do
you
nothing.
know the work that she had to go through to look that good?
She had a fairy godmother with a wand.
Like,
now let's go ahead and call that what it is.
And what
she had to do nothing. She didn't own them clothes.
Right.
They have a quick nap.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say, okay, there is somewhat of a valid point that people don't say, I love what you said, and you said that, why is she that valuable? We skipped that part of the story.
Yeah.
Why is she that valuable? Why is she that valuable?
Who?
Cinderella, or the princess in the fairy tale.
They're not.
Because
Snow
Disney
White's
chose
not
her.
valuable. She got lost. She ate an apple. She fell asleep. Like, she has no value. Rapunzel's hair is long. That's her value. She has long hair. It made it easy for him to climb up there and save her.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that's happening. Here's the thing that's happening though. Like, the same sort of things that would have made her valuable then don't work now. Like, Cinderella was killing it domestically. That doesn't work now.
God.
That doesn't work now. Because our women now are so much more than just that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're creators. They're innovators. They're all that stuff. So it's for us, and what we talk about, between Lawrence and I, is you've got to pick one. You can't hold on to the fairy tale and get this new life too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we attack it from both sides, because there is the guy fairy tale is, if I have money or if I'm the hero or I'm cool, I can get all the girls without even having to be vulnerable or sensitive. I can just walk into the room and take off my sunglasses and they're all flock to me. And these narratives are being given to both boys and girls. So the girls feel like, I can just sit here and Prince Charming will save me. And the guy believes he can just walk in somewhere with a cool pair of sunglasses and all the girls will love him. And then you have these boys and girls growing up into adults that don't realize that they don't understand each other at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just games, trying to fulfill each other's fairy tales, and these fairy tales don't make sense. They're incomplete stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because there's like, how many of these women do we hear saying, where are the good men? There are no good men. There are no good men. I would love to see and poll these women to see how many of them are waiting for a Prince Charming instead of the prince in progress.
Because that's what we are, man.
Yeah, that's what we are. That's what I am.
Progress.
I am still Prince in progress after being with Sybil for 14 years. I still readily make mistakes. But the thing about it is, and the beauty of what we have is, she is not counting on me to be Prince Charming. But at the same time, I am doing everything in my power to make sure she has an environment where she can be who she needs to be, who she wants to be.
So that's a score for us, Brandis, because we said you feel like a lady, which ultimately means he creates an environment where you feel as though you can flourish in your femininity.
That's so true. Yeah, we did great on that.
Yeah. But I hopefully, hopefully y'all caught the tangent they went on about some of the standards that we have and how we need to balance the scales a bit. I heard that.
It's not really balance the scales. It's, for
look
us.
at Lawrence's face. Yes, it is.
For us, on both sides of the coin, men and women, it's time to kill the fairy tale. Because the fairy tale's not serving us.
Yeah.
So death to the fairy tale.
Death to the fairy tale. Listen, he is not rolling up in a carriage, you know what I mean, with some mice that turned into horses and all that kind of stuff. He's not doing that. You know what? In this day and age, he is not going to kill your dragon for you. He will help you kill it, though.
Well, maybe the fairy tale these days is more of a story of, he knows me, he understands me, he connects with me, He doesn't judge me. He's not comparing me to some woman that is a reality star. And, you know, all of the different Insta models that are really super popular and strong right now. Like, he accepts my flaws and he values my strengths. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the fairy tale.
Yeah. And I really just need to take 2 seconds to say something about that, though.
Without naming any names.
No, we're not naming. I don't throw salt on anybody. Everybody's doing what they want to do in life.
Okay. Look at Lauren's face.
Like, where you going?
I'm going. All right.
Where you going with this?
So many we base men and women. And I've heard it especially a lot from a lot of my little sisters and everything out there. And this is not wrong, but just to have me thinking the other day, we base a lot of how we deal from a masculine and feminine perspective. Surprisingly, we're starting to use Instagram or social media as the litmus test for how men are appreciated or how women are appreciated or what men are looking for or what women are looking for. Mm-hmm. To me, there are a couple fallacies with that. One, let's say a girl goes out and she dolls herself up and she puts herself on Instagram and gets 1 million likes. Those likes do not equal love, appreciation, or anything. That's literally just a click on a phone. That's all it is. So the idea that we as men are more gravitating towards a certain form of beauty on an Instagram or on a Twitter, to me, I feel, and we can all agree or disagree or whatever, I feel it's a bit unsubstantiated because just because a guy looks at something doesn't necessarily mean he is into it.
Well, isn't it safe to say in product form, a product that is more popular sells more?
With men, it's a different thing, and here's why I say,
because I feel like what happens is when one archetype gets popularized by or given a higher value in the eyes of men, then it sort of dismisses the value, or it definitely segments the value of a different archetype in a different way, which means if I don't fit the mold of what's trending right now, the idea that it's harder for me or more challenging for me to gain connection with the person whose eyes are following the trend is true.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't. Here's why I don't just. And I'm gonna speak again about our guys.
Not impossible, but just a reality that people do face.
It could be a reality. My thing is this: men are we all know men are genuinely visual creatures. It was funny. I got this revelation when I was walking in it was a big department store, and there were like 12 men lined up around the electronic section watching the TVs. Mm-hmm. And all 12 of those men, after they were done, they turned around and they left. Mm-hmm. So it's like, just because men are looking at a certain thing doesn't mean that that's what we want necessarily. Mm-hmm. But we will stop and watch the big TV just for a moment. Just for a moment.
Lauren sat through that whole thing.
But we're visual. Just for a moment. Lawrence, it'll capture your attention.
What say ye?
Yeah. I mean, men are visual creatures, and men will look. But yeah, I mean, it's there's an animalistic side to men that's attached to our visual nature that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with our actual wants, needs, and desires. Mm-hmm. So that girl on Instagram who's showing off all her stuff, a guy may look at that, but that's speaking to a side of him that isn't out for like the love of his life. Like it's just a visual kind of instinctual and an animalistic thing that actually, I believe, does dull when you do find someone you love. It does, or should. Or it should.
Yeah, because one thing we can't turn away from is, guys, we can't turn away from that girl that just knows who she is.
I was just going to say that. I feel like even in the age of Instagram and of a certain body type that looks like it's winning right now, I have seen women that, aren't whoever, this woman that women think all men want, but they're like insanely confident and they are pulling them left and right.
Yeah, this is true
Absolutely.
too. That's true. You're absolutely right. Confidence wins most days.
Yeah.
And it wins from both sides. Believe me,
Yeah.
it happens with men.
Swag.
You have seen the
Yeah.
man who has a dog face, but there's just something about who he is. He's so confident that when he wakes up in the mirror, he knows he is all of that, and somehow he ends up getting the most beautiful women.
I'm gonna say this. I am just very grateful to God that I got booed up before this whole social media takeoff happened because
Yes.
Because Kwaku wouldn't be here right now.
Well, I just feel like when we dated, when we met, it was what was in front of you was your option, right? There was not a global market. I'm just saying. And I feel like that helped for us all to concentrate on the value of the people that were in front of you instead of hoping and wishing for things that were so far away.
Right.
What are you talking about? Social media, talking about online dating.
Okay, so eHarmony, all that stuff came along even after. Well, no, that was before, but we weren't doing any of that. But when I was out in the dating world, you met people in front of you through word of mouth. You weren't tagging and liking and trying to connect because you didn't have access to people. So I feel like you were more attentive to the market that you were in instead of reaching and trying to go grab people from so far away and hoping that you could get a certain type of girl. So, and quite frankly, exotic was not a big part of the picture. So everybody wasn't hoping for this. I'm gonna say everyone because I don't want to stereotype or I don't want to make it seem as though I'm prejudging. But I'm saying every woman has value, and I think it was easier for men to see that when they were in a certain market versus in a global market. This social media is training people to see a certain woman as more valuable physically when it's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that's both sides.
I'm just glad. I'm glad I didn't have to deal with social media when I was.
I always operate on the premise for men and women. When you finally do get comfortable in exactly who you are and what you bring to the table, you will win.
I was going to say, because even with all the social media stuff, I still see that people are searching for just real.
No,
like,
they are.
What's real, what's authentic, who's confident, who's like, not a thirst bucket, but like, are actually good with where they are and what they have, but who also knows, like, especially for women, know how to accept from a man.
Yeah. I just think right now, this stage, the world is so full of distractions. And if we could all get away from the distractions and find a way to sharpen up our focus, you get to meet people who have really great values to offer you.
And you get to write your own story.
Yeah.
You don't get to live in what Instagram says is good or what Facebook says is good. You get to kind of make up your own mind for, about what you want, who you are, what you're going to do, and who you're going to be with, period.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, our last one was number 8, was that he shows up for your big moments. When a man loves you, he shows up for your moments. You're not looking around going, where is he? Is he there? Is he coming? You know he's going to be front and center cheering you on.
I think if you're looking around, in your moment,
I don't know,
in your big moment,
if
you're looking around for him in that big moment continually. Now, mind you, he may miss one, he may miss, I purposely make sure that I don't. But I'm saying if the man's a doctor, whatever, there are circumstances where he may be in surgery. Okay, he may miss something, but in general, he's going to make your moment. He is going to make your moment. He's going to say, you know what, this is important to you. I got you. I'll be there. I'll hold your bags. I'll do what it takes. Because at the end of the day, he should never get in a place. Now, mind you, there will be peaks and valleys of this, so this is not perfect. But he will try his best to never put himself in a place where he gets really complacent. Where he starts to take advantage of who you are and what you bring to the table. He'll still continue to find that value, or he may try to, every now and then he may try to respark something to see, to make sure that it's there or whatever. Yeah. He's not perfect, but yeah, I agree.
And yeah, and complacency and taking for granted, that's human nature. As human beings, we want to take the path of least resistance. Once we figure out the game, we want it to stay the way it is. And I think when you're in a relationship, both men and women challenge each other to keep going forward. Because our default is to just chill. Like, we want to chill. If we all can make $1 million right now and take a nap, we would.
Right.
That's not life. So I think the pursuit across all these points is a man will try his best, not just chill. I try my best with Shay. I fall short all the time. That birthday Kwaku mentioned, it was great. I took her horseback riding. I also thought it would be cool to take her to a soul food joint in like South Central. So this, I won and lost, right? But I tried my best.
I love it.
I tried my best.
You tried your best.
I tried my best.
Yes, you did.
And that's what it is. A guy who loves you will try his best.
I love it. I love it.
That was good.
So you'll feel his effort, like you're saying.
Oh yeah.
You'll know that, it's not always going to come out great, but he's like, and you'll see he'll be so doggone excited about it.
Oh my
Even
God!
if it's
So excited.
Even
like,
if
it'd
it's
be really
just the worst
cool.
thing.
No.
Or he'll buy you stuff that he thinks is cool for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
It's a
husband
learning
all
process.
day, every day. Babe, you didn't even plug that thing up. I bought you this wireless charger for your phone and you won't even plug it up. Well, to me, I don't get it. I just feel like I could just plug the thing up.
Well, this is where communication happens, because when I buy gifts for Sybil that I know she doesn't like, she just asks me, would you be hurt if I return this?
See, I can't tell Rich that.
Yeah,
He gets so excited about it. His feelings are all into this gift.
I will tell you that you can, and I'll tell you why. Because if you don't, you will continue to get that gift over and over again.
And he will continue to be like, you going to use it?
Right. I know the things we want to be communicated with. Let me know what doesn't work. If it doesn't work,
year,
cool. I'm going to knock that off the list from now on. We're not
every year I get an electronic.
because every
it's a really cool electronic, but every year I get some kind of electronic. I mean, it'd be like the newest hottest thing, but I'd be like,
he's like, I'm trying to help you get to keep.
He's trying to protect you emotionally, spiritually, and physically.
He is. He's like, babe, this thing is going to help you with your schedule. This is going to help you stay on schedule. All you got to do is speak to it.
That is a grand gesture.
And I'm over here like, man, I could have really used some nice pumps or or a nice bag.
But as men know,
if somebody is listening to this podcast and you know Rich, you better not tell him this.
wow.
Done.
I'm scared to get my wife like a bag or some pumps, man, because that means like it is such a specific gift. You got like, my mother loves bags, and there's so much about bags. You can't just go into a store and buy a bag.
Yeah, ladies, you don't understand how scary that is for us.
I'd rather get you something I know about
than
get you some shoes.
Yeah.
I tried that one. I was walking all over Manhattan trying to find some boots for Christmas, and I got it wrong still.
See, no. Here's the thing. Very great game. Women, very great game to play with your man. Take him out and say, we're going to play a game. We're going to play, here's what I like. And show him specific things that you like. Because if we have to walk through the store where there are 12,000 shoes in 13,000 different sizes and 15,000 colors, we will give up. You will get a gift card.
But to their defense, sometimes they will be like, I like this, but we're in a clothing store. And we'll be like, right over our heads. People right over our heads.
The wrong thing.
Yeah, because she's in there feeling everything and rubbing all kinds of stuff.
And you're like, do you like this? Well, I do, but maybe last season or, the one at that. And I'm like, I can't even. I'm done.
Gift card,
I lost
electronics.
Electronics. I used to actually get purses and bags, but I think what happened was his homegirl who basically used to be a part of that process had triplets. So I think now I'm on to electronics because
that's his default.
he ain't got time for that.
He have his help. He needs his help.
Oh, this was so good.
Yes, guys.
Fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thanks for being so honest, almost brutally.
I have nothing to lose, girlfriends. Nothing to lose.
Let me see how you doing on your list. You're doing pretty good. Out of the 8.
Please go through my list. Thank you.
Out of the 8? I don't know. Maybe I need the passwords now. Maybe I need...
No, we gotta address your issue.
Right. You're not, now that I know,
I don't
you're not
have an
getting
issue,
it.
Lawrence. I don't have an issue.
We gotta talk. We gotta do a show about that
Tell
topic.
you something. I am 14
yeah.
years and 2 kids into this relationship. So if I can't log on and scroll, come on.
You have my computer password. Right?
No, I do. I have all the
Yeah,
passwords.
my phone password. I gave you. I'm trying to get you a thumbprint password on my phone.
I didn't want all that stuff. It's just too much.
She didn't want it, y'all.
I gotta prioritize
Girlfriend, she ain't want it.
But I know that I can have it. You see what I'm saying? Because he offered.
Yeah.
If he didn't offer, it'll be like, I'll unlock it. No, I'm gonna help you. What's our password, father of my 2 kids with 14 years?
I have enough.
You know?
I have enough with this one woman. I have no. I don't
It's
even
too
have
much.
the energy. I don't have
I
the
don't
It's
energy.
understand the guys who have, well, because guys who have like all these girlfriends, it's like that's 3 Valentine's days. That's 3 different birthdays. That's just too much to juggle. It's too much. There's no way you leave them feeling satisfied or happy. So I mean,
Yeah, and then put on top of that we're not necessarily the most strategic creatures on the planet.
no.
Yeah, it's a recipe for disaster, guys.
Just don't
Listen,
do
our
it.
girlfriends know, but for our 20% male audience, hopefully they're listening and going,
Right.
They're right.
Yes.
You should see
Well,
their
well,
faces.
look,
This is priceless.
If it comes to for the ladies, if it comes to Valentine's Day and he's like kind of maybe what I don't know what's going on Valentine's Day, you are not number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's somewhere else.
You might be 2, 3, 7.
But you gotta like, and you have to like come to terms with the fact that you may not be number 1 for real. Like, because sometimes that justifying and saying, making up excuses for him, it's like, dudes love that. Because for every class of dude, there's a class of lady that'll take him. And we know that.
Yeah.
And there are guys that can have 3 girlfriends at the same time. Because the standard for those women are so low, they'll take I see you once a week. They'll take that he doesn't respond. And as long as you'll take it, there'll be a guy that'll be so happy to step into that position.
And there's always the guy that knows I may not get a 10, but I'll take 2 5s.
Oh, yeah.
On that note, great girlfriend.
That was real talk.
That was real talk.
That's the difference.
Bottle stuff. I'm like, that's cute and all, but a man will take what he can get and take the path of least resistance if it's there for him.
Wow.
I'll say a guy will. A guy will do that.
Wow.
Well, girlfriends, I hope you got something valuable out of this.
I think they did. I think they
episode.
did. I think they did. The guys definitely kept it real, and that's what we asked for. So we want to thank you guys.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much. It really was a fun hour. I'm telling you, I laughed really hard.
So much fun.
I laughed really hard. So this is the place where we normally thank our husbands. Being that you're on this episode with us.
No, I can still take it. I'll take it.
Thank you for being an amazing 1 through 8 on my list of things of when a man loves a woman.
I'm about 10 of those things.
Oh,
Yay! Here go my booski. He just walked through the door.
Oh, hey, Rich.
What's up, bro?
What up, man?
Oh, I got it so dark in here. Y'all can't even see us. But and I want to thank my husband, Rich, who is the love of my life, and I'm so grateful for him.
Yes, and we thank our kids. Oh, well, Lawrence, I want to give you an opportunity if you'd like to thank Jack.
That's a setup. That's a setup.
I would like to thank my wife, Shay, for putting me on the path to becoming Prince Charming. Thank you for giving me something to fight for and pursue.
Yay!
Sweet. But then we thank our kids, Sam and Dylan, who are downstairs being fantastic while we record. I thank my little kitties.
Yay! It's my little pumpkin, Sky Grace. so grateful for her.
Aw. And thank you to all of our girlfriends and our great guy friends who listen. Thank you so much for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. Please make sure to listen each Wednesday on iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Republic, Podcast Bean, and Blueberry.
And then make sure that you guys check us out on social, on our personal socials. You can catch Sybil at Sybil_Amuti. And you can catch Brandis at Brandis Daniel.
Yes.
On all social media. And then also on our Instagram for the Great Girlfriends.
We are the Great Girlfriends.
On Twitter.
_Great GFS.
And then on Facebook.
The Great Girlfriends.
And then also make sure you guys join our Facebook group. Oh my goodness, we have an announcement too, Sybil. We're at 100,000 downloads.
Woo-hoo! So exciting. Please also make sure you join us for What Women Want 2017. The website is whatwomenwantconference.com. Hurry up and grab your early bird tickets.
Yes.
Get one for yourself and a girlfriend.
We cannot wait to see you guys at the conference in New York City this summer.
Absolutely. Well, make sure you post your questions online. Share with your friends.
Keep listening
and
keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
I'm Kwaku.
I'm Lawrence.
We're signing off.
Thank you guys. This was so good.